Oh, you paid two.
Do you want me to talk about that HVAC, about that purchasing quote?
You can join in. Just run over real quick. We'll see.
I kind of made some quick notes in my book.
Okay. That's,
I'd rather go on questions than.
yep.
But it's about 300 pounds a day. That's a lot, yeah. I had sent that to you on lunchtime. You must not have got it.
You mean? No, after I take my break, I don't look at my phone when I'm working.
I'm not positive what time it was.
Call some meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Chad. Lizzie?
Here.
Becky?
Here.
Laura? Jeff?
Here.
Dan?
Here.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Public participation will be inside pipeline, Rusty, Thomas.
I just go. I'll just do a quick once over and, if y'all have questions, ask questions. I've been stopping talking to Rusty for a couple of years about the infrastructure, and it sounds like nothing's been done forever.
True.
Yeah. I was talking to the guy at the plant, and what happens when it rains is, the rain pipes and the sanitary pipes should all be separate. There's most places are like four, if you have a 2-inch rain, 3 to 4 times your dry flow. I talked to the guy at the plant, and he's got 8 times. So you got some issues. And that may not seem bad, but you're paying all that electric to treat that storm water. So it's better to get the storm water out. I'm surprised EPA hasn't been nipping at your heels, quite frankly. Inside pipe's been around for about 38 years. I've been doing this for 35 years. We're like a full service. We'll come in, we'll do inspections, TV cameras, run cameras up the line, clean pipes. We have the capability to rehab manholes and install liners inside that pipe. We can do it through a purchasing cooperative, kind of like the state bid. So you don't have to hire an engineer, you don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. We take care of the whole thing. Basically when the guys come out and do TV work, which is when you haven't ever done anything, that's the place to start. You gotta do TV work, find out what's going on. The guys that do the work, they're sitting in a truck and they're coding everything on the computer into a special program, which is, they have to be certified. If we all did that job, we'd all be certified, and we'd all call it crack and hole. Very technical. But what happens is the software on that computer then grades that segment of pipe, okay? It gives it a grade from 0 to 5. 0 being, okay, it's in the PVC, or 5 meaning, okay, it's gonna collapse on you probably tomorrow. But the power of the computer does that, and that's the place to start. And then what I usually do is I evaluate the data. I'll meet up with Rusty and you guys if need be, because you're holding a checkbook, and I can give you my opinion, but it's but it's all data based. It's not just the fact that you're doing 8 times dry flow when it rains, there's issues, expensive issues. This purchasing program, it doesn't cost you anything to sign up to do it. It's basically getting online and going through it. It's the same thing as the state bid, the Ohio State bid, where you can buy trucks, and you can buy trucks and everything out of this too. The only difference is out of this one, you can actually buy the service. You know, like the Ohio State bid, you can buy the equipment, but you can't buy the service. We run the gambit. We have, inside here, we have some real good subcontractors that I've known for years that we use to do everything from manhole rehab to excavation work. And, you know, repairing main breaks and stuff. From a rehab standpoint, this is called cured in place pipe, okay? So here's the liner. This liner is wet out with a resin, with a thermosetting resin. It's air inverts it into place, so it's kind of like reaching through the toe of your sock and pulling the toe through. And then it just goes down the pipe. It's basically then a boiler truck is hooked to it, a steam truck, and we steam it, and you can have a brand new pipe in 4 hours. Then we went with a robot and cut out all the laterals. So this becomes this when it's done. That's a fully deteriorated design. The hose pipe can go away. Probably most of your hose pipe is all clay, being as old as the village is. You know, if it's 50 or 60 years old, that's the end of its life, pretty much. So, you know, this keeps you from having to dig everything up. So, you know, we go through existing manholes. You know, the technology's been around for almost 50 years. It started over in Europe and then brought it over here. So it's not something, you know, it's not something new, for sure. I don't know, does anybody have any questions?
What program did you say you were with for state?
It's a Houston Galveston area.
HGAC?
Yeah.
Are you part of TIPS or Omnia?
No, it was just the only one.
Just that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So how long, what's the lifespan of that once you do it?
We'll be long gone. I mean, I get less time than you do, but.
A lot behind that.
No, it's, you know, they put a 50-year life on it just because they don't know how long it, you know. But I saw a thing on Discover that you throw that plastic gallon milk jug in the dump and it'll be there in 500 years or something like that. And that's pretty much the same thing. You know, it's kind of like PVC when you're done.
How close to Schedule 35 is that?
I don't know the answer to that, but like I said, it's a fully structural design. Our guys tried parking a truck on top of, trying to get it to stay in place to park a truck.
Like what, 3/16 of an inch thick,
As close to,
close to it?
when you guys say as close to Schedule 35? I mean, that's what sewer lines are now.
Yeah,
I think it's
Yeah.
plastic ones.
yeah,
I would say it's really close.
yeah. These come in multiple thicknesses, like the design on an 8-inch pipe. You know, you run ASTM designs, and the design on an 8-inch pipe is usually pretty much the same. It's like 3.2 to 3.5 millimeters thick. This is a 6 millimeter thick liner, I think. Yeah, it looks like it's 6. But we have 4.5 millimeter that we could put in. It's a little bit cheaper. But it's, you know, it would do the same thing structurally. If you do the 6, it's overkill. You know, this is also going to stop root intrusion. You know, we can waterproof. You know, what will happen is this does not stick to the hose pipe. This mechanically locks to the joints and the taps and everything else. So you have the opportunity for, you know, all the water in the joints that you plug up when you're inverting this thing, you know, this is running the length. So all the areas that used to allow groundwater to get in, it can't get in anymore. So it'll wick along that annular space and come out of the manhole. Well, we can put a hydrophilic seal there too, and really, you know, start pecking away at that, you know, that eight times the dry weather flow. You know, it's been used forever. I'll give this to you because it sounds like you've got some interest. I flagged everything. You know, there's a list in there of who all in Ohio. We're doing a bunch of work through that program in Morgantown, West Virginia. But it's, you know, the ones that are highlighted in that list, those are the ones that we have actually done work through that. Like I said, all you have to do to get signed up is get online and do that interlocal contract. The pricing is all published.
So everything that would cost us is in there.
Yeah.
So I think some of our infiltration issues, probably sump pumps.
That,
So we're not gonna get, I mean, we're gonna get rid of a lot of our infiltration, but we're not gonna get rid of all of it.
I tell you what, I live down in Claremont County, and I ran the collection system down there. And we had, you know, when it would rain, the flows would just go boom, you know? That's kind of where we landed. The problem was, the prosecuting attorney had to put together, I said, I can't do anything because I don't have a hammer. You know, people are gonna go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll get right on that, you know? But you gotta have a hammer, they won't do it. And they gotta let you in the house, or put a surcharge on them that, you know, that's painful for them. I think we did a little bit of that too. You know, I'm not saying either that, you know, they didn't have a darn valve behind the dryer that when it, you know, as soon as we walked out the door, the valve's turning and it's right back in. You know, you don't know. But, you know, it's a,
Yeah, we showed the price here.
I would be more, what's that?
We were talking about, you would actually have to know how,
I mean, annual fee.
I mean,
exactly how many feet.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you start is we come in and do the TV work.
So what would be our initial investment then with your company?
With the TV work,
TV work.
how much is that?
It's probably, we can do it, so all the rehab in here is based around prevailing wage. That's what Ohio says. And there's also a consent order or consent something, I'm not a lawyer, I'm an engineer. But it's a document in there that was on their website. That's all from their website.
We're doing that where I work right now. We are part of the TIPS and Omnia, but we're doing the HGAC right now
Oh, you're already a member?
of TIPS and Omnia.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. It's a good way to get work done.
It is.
You know, it's engineering, you know, I've been doing this for so long. You hire an engineering firm to come and design this job for you. They're not gonna do anything any different than what I'm gonna do. You gotta get the data first, and that's the TV work. That doesn't have to be prevailing wage. So we don't have to charge it prevailing wage. So we work 10-hour days. We come in with 4 guys, probably $1.5 million worth of vehicle. And it's anywhere from $4,500 to $5,000 for that 10-hour day. And if the system's been taken care of, you know, we say we can get, you know, 1,200 or 1,500 feet. I have a feeling driving through this village with some pretty mature trees, you're gonna have a bunch of tree roots. You're gonna have to cut out before you do anything. Once you install this though, the tree roots can't get back into the body. So it'll make that guy's life a whole bunch
So
easier.
who's responsible for the root removal? Will we be responsible, or is that something that you?
That's something that we do.
Because you take care of that also.
Yeah, well, I mean, we do full circle right down to, you know, I mean, we can line the laterals too, you know. It's just, it's all money, you know. And that's why that document right there with the pricing in it, I think if you do an 8x, which I would guess most of the sewers are 8-inch, right? Probably some 6 and mostly 8.
Yeah, probably.
You know, I'm kind of figuring this is the beginnings of something, and that's gonna have to be a budget item for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do the investigation work now. You figure out what the hell you got and what your needs are, and give you the footages that we think need done, and you can back into your budget for next year using it. Because those prices will still be good probably next year. We repriced in May of last year, so it's usually good for 2 years.
So how far out do you schedule one of these? So if it takes us a couple months to get things squared away, to get just the camera footage, how much time, if I schedule it today with you, would it take you to be able to come out and do it?
We'd probably be here within a month.
Because this,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know it's something new, it's something y'all don't know of, that's why I brought, you know, stuff to have and hold. But you know, it's gonna be a discussion amongst y'all, amongst everybody, and, you know, like I said, I was really surprised at at 7 times. Does the plant bypass with that 2-inch rain?
No, it all goes through the
All
plant.
goes to the plant.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Well,
I got a question on them laterals. When you camera that, does it measure where the laterals is? How do you know back?
there's a cable on the camera, okay?
Yeah.
The guy's sitting on a truck with a control board, and when you put the camera in the hole, there's a knot that holds the cable to the camera, to the truck.
So it knows where to go back to.
Well, we say, okay, set your footage, and that's usually, the camera's, 3 feet long, and that's where you set your footage at 0, or at 3 feet rather, I'm sorry. And then as it pulls off cable out of the truck, there's a footage counter. Yeah, so we can tell you, so we come out and do the TV work on the front end. I evaluate it, we talk, or whoever wants to make a decision talk, and we figure out what we want to do. So you got your footages, you know that from the TV work, you know that at 32 feet, at 3 o'clock, there's a tap to that house there on the right.
That's pretty cool.
So you've got all those, you've got, so that tube is actually manufactured for that segment.
So we'll get all that information with the footages, because then that will tell the guys later on if there is an issue with.
That's
this
what I was
house,
asking
that
about.
house.
Well, the other thing it'll give you is, because I talked to Rusty last time I was here, and he said that you guys are only responsible at the main. What this TV footage will do, because you're gonna get a camera, you're gonna get TV footage after the fact, after it's lined. And when somebody calls and bitches because there's something wrong inside our pipe, inside the main pipe, you can put that video up on a computer, pull up to that 32-foot tap, and say, no, baby, that's yours, because it's full of roots, we can see it.
Now, let me ask you this, what happens if there's a lateral that's shoved in too far? How do you address
We
cutting that?
mechanically cut it off.
Okay.
We either use a robot to cut it off, or we have a saw blade that goes on a root motor that cuts it off. It's usually mechanical with the robot that we use to reinstate laterals, just because it's cleaner. You hit that thing with a cutter, that clay is so brittle, it'll shatter. So we try not to make it worse, when we leave it was when we got here. But it's been, you can see from that list, there's I think we've got 25 or 30 clients now in Ohio and West Virginia that are using that for doing this type of work. And quite frankly, I started out here like 7 years ago, and I started that. And I'm at the point now where we're so busy, and I've really concentrated on helping villages out, because it seems like nobody in our business wants to help villages out. Villages have some of the worst stuff and the least amount of money.
So how does that in the future, if someone wants to make a tap on it, how does that?
You
Just
usually
use a saddle on it?
You can use a saddle, or there's a thing called an insertee, where you drill a hole in the pipe, and this insertee, and it's got gaskets on it, and it twists in.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the village is pretty much built out though, isn't it?
It is, but I'm just asking.
Yeah,
questions.
no, that's good, it's a good question. I can do all the talking I want, but it's the questions that really, it's the questions from you guys that help it make sense, and I think you get more out of it.
Well, because what I'm thinking is, not so much for new laterals, but to replace lines, because it sounds like we could have this issue coming down the pipeline. If we go with this, we find out, we've got these laterals that they're full of roots, and as people change them out,
Yeah.
you know, we want them sealed tight to that pipe. I don't care what it does to the clay.
No, usually you're gonna break the clay away. Because as I said, this 6 millimeter design, that's a fully deteriorated design. So that clay hose pipe could be gone. It doesn't need that.
But I want to just make sure that that's a watertight seal,
Yep.
or we're right back to square one.
Yeah.
If
Yes,
somebody shoved a piece of pipe,
and you'll see that. I mean, we used to do the company I worked for before, we did a lot of stuff for Cincinnati MSD. And there was a contractor that, I don't know if you remember Braun Bread, had like the two-tone yellow and orange bag. Well, this guy must have went, I don't know where he got it, but every one of his repairs, you could see from inside the pipe, he put a piece of Braun bread bag around it and put concrete on it. That was his fix to tie everything together. Yeah. But you'll see stuff, you know, like you said, you'll see pipe shoved all the way in. I mean, it's, you know,
I have one more question.
yeah.
What do you do with the sewage that's in the pipe as it's coming? You got some more sloppy
We
head?
just pump it on the creek, right?
You pump it with the truck? I mean, you got pumper trucks or what? How do
We have bypass pumps that suck it up out of the hole and we run it down to the next hole
Okay.
above ground.
So you only do from, say, manhole to manhole?
Or a lot of it depends on the taps. You know, if you've got 10 taps on each segment, we're probably gonna do that one by itself.
Okay.
You know, if you've got 5, then maybe we'll do 2 or 3 segments as long as the manholes are straight through.
Okay.
You know, we just don't want you guys getting phone calls from people saying, hey, you know, I haven't been able to wash the cat in 10 hours because of these people are out here doing whatever they're doing.
Any more questions for
no, I think I'm good on this
you?
list.
Rusty, you got anything you want to add to that?
Nope, we're good.
Good.
Nope, I appreciate you coming out.
Hey, no problem. I hope we can do something to help you out. That's what we're here for.
Thank you all for having
Thank
me.
you.
All right. Any more participating? Okay, committee reports.
Put him to sleep.
The water committee met on January 19th. We discussed project ideas to look into and just different issues with we discussed the water project ideas like the well, the clay pipe, the street repairs, the bar screen buildings, things like that we've already brought up. And we discussed the water department, once we get everything squared away and getting it here this year at some point, looking into doing some sort of water rate study to make sure, to see exactly what an accurate price would be for any escalators or increases or anything to do with the price change of the water bills. And that's about all we talked about.
Parks and Recreation will have a meeting on Monday, the 9th at 5:30 PM here at the town hall. Trina, if you could do a couple postings, please. Thank you. 5:30 here Monday. And we're going to be meeting with Danny Stapleton Jr. from the fall committee.
Okay, cool.
He'll be there.
Staff reports. Rusty, anything?
Just real quick, just to give you an update, our generator project, everything's good to go, we're moving along, we ordered a generator, it's like 4 to 6 months lead time. So, and plus, we have to get rid of the smell as well, so, but everything's good, we're moving right along with that. So besides that, it's just been snow and cold, and frozen meters and,
Can you work on the
No.
pile at the library, please?
no.
I would super appreciate it if you could help clear
We'll
up
see
the
what
mountain.
I didn't say no.
It is a mountain, it is blocking the library.
We'll see what we can do.
Thank you so much. I know it took them forever to do that one.
Okay, it's not here. Old business. Camden Economic Development.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Back in October of '24, you guys hired a economic development consultant. 1 month later, he gets a job in another city. And from there on, he accepted employment as a city employee in a municipality near Cincinnati. I'm not going to say the guy's name or anything like that. 1 month after the village contract. For the record, at no time did he provide council with a written report or oral report detailing any activities or actions performed on behalf of the village. The consulting agreement provided compensation in an amount of $2,000 per month. The consultant resigned after 6 months of service. During that period, council paid a total of $12,000. Council could formally determine, or should formally determine what, if any, benefit the village received from this contract, and whether there is any legal basis to recover public funds for services that were not documented or demonstrably performed. So I want a discussion on that because I think we wasted our money.
Well, he did help on Medship, do that one, and then one across the street, they worked on that for several.
That was before 2024, October 2024, not after that.
Then he was working with, what's the guy, with the economic development and
Justin.
Justin
Yeah.
Johnson. And I know he was in contact with him working on things, but I don't know what he was working
You
on.
can do a public records request from County Economic Development.
So nobody knows what he was working on. So what I want to know is, did he give a report? $12,000 is a lot of money, people.
Well, we went with him because prior to that, we had signed with a company. Judy, do you remember who that was?
I don't remember the name of the
Montrose Group.
Yeah, Montrose.
There was Montrose Group, and they were charging us,
Oh, I don't know.
32 or
30.
36.
$3,200 a month for a year, and we never saw them one time. After multiple requests, then that's when we terminated the contract with them.
Well, that's like what, 35 grand in a year or more? Then you paid another 12,000 on top of that?
Did we not meet with Ben over at Medship with Ryan after we employed him for that?
Can I ask a question? Because I don't understand. I understand that, like, we hired this person to be our consultant, but what does Medship have to do with Price Eggs in China? Why didn't they pay him to be a consultant for them? Because that's not village property. Why was he?
It's bringing business into the village.
Was there an actual written contract?
There was a written contract, but I don't have it.
There was a written
There
contract.
should have been, yeah, something.
Did the contract say what he was supposed to do?
With Gunderson.
I don't know.
He was supposed to, I think, report once a month, either at a council meeting or with the mayor or with,
Email.
If there was a written contract, the village should have a copy of it because that's a 10-year for their retention schedule.
Yes, we have one.
Okay.
Well, council didn't break the contract, he did. He resigned. So we didn't break a contract with him or anything like that.
No,
But we got, as far as I'm concerned, we got non-performance.
it was a mutual thing for him leaving.
Yeah. So I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion the council conduct a formal review of the consulting contract initiated in October 2024, for which payments totaling $12,000 were made, determine whether the contracted services were performed and documented. I further move that council consult legal counsel to evaluate whether recovery of funds is warranted due to lack of documented performance. and copy all council members on communication to solicitor and copy their legal advice back to council.
So your motion is just to have council,
Council investigate and talk to the attorney and inform all council members of their advice.
and who do you want to be in charge of that from council?
What's that?
Who do you want to do that from council?
Well, who talks to the attorney?
The mayor?
I talked to the attorney.
Can you write him an email and copy council and
Oh, contact, Jack Hemingway is our,
I'll second your motion.
any discussion?
See,
Roll call.
excuse me, Lizzie.
Yay.
Becky?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Dan?
yes?
At least we'll find out what we can do.
Sure.
Good. Very good.
Are we still on old business?
Yeah, that's all I have on the agenda.
At our last meeting, I wanted to attend the March training for the state auditor, and at the time, they didn't have the price posted. I looked today, they said it is $300 for the, it's 2 days, right?
Unless you're gonna be.
2 days of training. I would like to attend, Dan Stapleton would like to attend.
Is that something that could be,
What's the process of doing that? Do we just have her sign us up when she signs herself up?
Well,
can that be done on, like via Zoom?
No, it's in person.
Yeah, it's in person.
what's the training on?
Local government officials conference. It's for council members, newly elected fiscal officers,
I've only been to one. I missed last year, so.
Mayors.
Attorney said that she needs to go to that too.
mayors.
Yeah, and when I spoke with 2 of the commissioners, they suggested that it would be really a good idea for myself and any new members to attend if they could. And I never heard back from anyone else, but I know Stapleton was interested.
That's something that you guys have to decide. I can't vote on it.
So is it by vote? How do you do that?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I make a motion that we, myself and Dan Stapleton attend Trina at the Ohio Local Government Conference in March, and the cost is $300 per person.
Where is it at in March?
Columbus.
it's at the conference, Hyatt Conference Center.
Most of our government things are down.
I didn't know if they had outreach programs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
I'd rather have, what we did one this year and one next year.
I think we have too many members of council that just wing it and don't know what the hell they're doing. We just do our best. And this would be a really good way for all of us to be, at least a couple of us to be educated. And with there being 6 members, I think 2 at a time would be at least a better idea. I'm an older member, he's a new member, so then next year, she's going with the commissioners.
I'm a new member.
But you're going with the commissioner's office, you're covered. So then next year, the other 3 could go, or a couple of the other ones could go. But we have a lot of people here.
$100, that's.
Are you going up and back? Is that your plan to go up and back, or are you staying up there overnight?
It's 3-hour drive. I could drive back.
I'm gonna have to spend the night. It was advised to me that I should stay the night and mingle upon the people and learn as much as I can from the people, just as much as the classes.
So that's gonna be more than $300.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna have.
It'd be room
I could room with Trina. You staying?
What's a hotel rate, you know?
About 150 and
I believe, I believe that, well, it depends.
It's
So
more,
you're
yeah.
tax exempt. I believe our rooms were, I wanna say 215, 219 total.
That sounds about right.
But we stay 2 nights, so.
Well, I'll tell you what, since Becky's going for the county and you're going, if you go for Camden,
Can we share a room? Who are you sharing a room?
and that way you guys can go.
You can ride with me, that'll save you mileage,
Sure.
so the village won't have to pay any mileage.
And I'll go next year.
Idea, since you're 2 council members.
Yeah.
Okay?
So really you, as well as Trina, so you're gonna be out, for lodging. Trina will have mileage.
Meals.
Well, there's meals included in yours, so you're,
Yeah,
the only meal you're
Except
gonna
for
have
dinner,
is
right?
in the evening.
Oh, okay.
Except for evening.
And I don't eat a lot, don't worry.
There's evening meals.
I know, like, they said, they have breakfast.
There's
Sampler and
breakfast and lunch. Not
Maybe
dinner.
it was just snacks.
Yeah, they provide snacks all day long, but.
So I got a first, a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion, send Liz.
We've already got a motion.
Okay,
So it would
I'll
just-
second.
It would just
Already got a
be,
second.
Okay,
Lizzie motion.
roll call.
Roll call, Martha, check.
Lizzie,
yeah.
Becky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm still on old business. We keep going?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Is this new stuff that came up?
It's all stuff we've already talked about. So I've talked multiple times about these adjustments with the water, doing adjustments and doing things with the water. I would like to make a motion that all water adjustments, except for pool adjustments, go through council before it is processed through Trina. Because there's a large amount that's adjusted and we never find out about it.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Discussion.
The only thing I will say is, a lot of the larger amounts are rollovers. So
Well, that really needs to get looked into because I feel like once we got those new meter heads, we should not have any
we
rollovers.
still do.
How much money are we talking?
I think you're having rollovers because you have old meter readings compared to the new meters that started at 0.
Do we have every single meter serial number put into the system?
Yeah,
We need to figure out why it's doing a rollover because it shouldn't.
because I've even talked to Software Solutions about it.
Do you have a comment? Do you know why we would have?
Well, they're not gonna roll over till they hit 1 million gallons. So those heads just were all put in, so none of them are gonna roll over.
They're coming rollover on the report. You know, as far as,
So don't think it's actually rolling over, but it's reading.
but it's trying to build, do you remember that first billing I did and I billed somebody like $900, $9,000, whatever? It's that scenario. I didn't know what it was at the time.
So it's in a software programming or software?
No, it's in the readings themselves. What it's doing is it's coming back with a lower reading the next month than what the previous month was, instead of a higher reading for increased
So then it
usage.
looks like it's a rollover.
Yeah.
It's a million.
And the only thing Software Solutions will tell me, which
It wouldn't be software, it would be Badger, correct?
no, Software Solutions that is that. On the reports and the rollovers and, yeah. But they try to tell me that's because they're in backwards. Rusty says that's not possible.
They're not in
so
backwards.
that's
They've been
what-
reading all these years. We didn't change any meters, all we changed is the register, the head.
You just put new heads.
Just tell me what
Yes,
it's called.
New
nothing's
heads.
backwards.
But there's several accounts that I have to adjust every month or they're gonna get that bill.
Then
Because
that
it's-
list needs to be given to us every month so that we know what's going on.
Every meeting.
Every meeting.
So If it's the same meters every month,
Pretty much.
then we probably, how many meters are we talking?
15?
Well, just give me a list of those 15 and I can go change heads on them
Let's do that.
and see if that makes a difference, which I doubt very seriously.
You have that report.
Huh?
You have that report.
I do.
Let's do that, because if it's just 15 meters, I mean, that's a lot of meters, but if it's the same 15,
Maybe there's an
there's,
issue with
there's
that
something,
meter.
there's something going on
Maybe it's a bad
inside,
meter, it's not utilized. as a
inside
bad-
that meter bit.
We'll
It's a
look.
bad meter.
It's possible.
That means the serial numbers all have to be took out and changed.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Well,
not
you just have
typical.
to, it's just 15.
Well, it's just 15, so that should take an
Yeah.
hour.
We'll have to wait till the spring,
They
fall.
couldn't find it underneath the
Yeah,
snow.
because right now, just doing some few turnoffs and what have you we've done, I've had to get the snow plow out and the metal detector, and it's a difficult procedure just to find the water pits right now.
Metal detector, the plastic lids now.
It's got a metal nut.
So
We're supposed to get more
those
snow.
adjustments, just send us a report of that list, so that we know that those are what you're calling a rollover.
And it'll
And
explain it.
any adjustment, if somebody comes in and complains about the bill, wants it adjusted, that needs to be processed through council.
So just tell them that you're waiting on council approval.
Yep.
And there will be no late fees if it happens at that time.
Yeah.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Let me get my motions. Motion.
I did.
Second. You second? Dan?
Nick second.
I second it.
Or Dan second,
No, I didn't
okay.
second.
Okay, Lizzie,
Yeah.
Becky,
Yes.
Joe, Dan.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest of mine is new business.
You're done?
Been with old business.
Yeah. New business was the word that, what do you got? Got new business?
I got new business.
Okay. We can make that.
I heard that. Okay, so I wanted to get council's approval to do something.
No.
There's a program called Respect for the Law Camp. It's ran from the Butler County Police Association. And I would like it to have Debbie Mason share a post on our Facebook from their Facebook to pull in more kids. I talked to the assistant director, and I reached out for him on their behalf. I reached out to different police departments all over Preble County, and I've been getting them involved to try to get more kids to sign up to this program. So the camp is it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the kids come and they do they go down the building on the rope, and they have the bomb squad there, and they have the police dogs. They do all kinds of really cool stuff that's all SWAT team, fire, police. It's a really amazing program, and their attendance is extremely low, and they've been really trying to build it back up since COVID. Other police departments, I've got the okay from them that they're gonna work towards it. I just need your guys' permission to have Debbie share that on ours.
Okay.
So do I have to have a motion for that, or do I just get your guys' thumbs up? Everybody good with that?
You're good.
So it doesn't cost us.
It doesn't cost us anything.
You're just sharing a post.
We're just sharing a post
Information.
to their Respect for the Law camp, from their Facebook to ours. And
Essentially
share it
an
as a link.
advertisement. It's essentially an advertisement.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
free advertisement for them to pull more kids in. So I'm trying to get all the municipalities from Preble County to do it.
Sounds good.
Just like we advertise blood drives and
Yeah, same
things of
concept.
that nature.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Look, I don't mean to, I just try to come organized. Okay, so in the scheme of trying to go over the water department, get the water department fixed up, there are some issues that are popping up. We have homes that have the wrong person's name on the bill that doesn't live there anymore. We have vacant houses that still have accounts. We have, there's just a lot of things, and they just add up to a big mess. So I would like it if we do a notification to the community to give everyone a deadline of March 31st to update all their accounts. So the responsible person's name to the account associated with their address and a current phone number to every account inside the village of Camden that she has to process so that she has the right person. So when there's anyone that's not done come April 1st would get shut off, and then if they haven't come back within 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever we decide.
So who's name you gonna put that in? What, people's got rentals?
Well, I have rentals, but I require my rentals to be under my name. Some landlords require their rentals to be under that person's name. That person gets a bill, so when the bill gets there, they need to make sure that the right person's on there. So it's their responsibility as a renter, and it's the homeowner's responsibility to make sure that their renter is processing correctly. Because we run around like chickens with their head cut off trying to make sure the right person is being billed. Because if you are running a water bill in my name and I've moved out, and then you stop paying that bill, who's gonna get nailed for it? Me. And I done thought you switched it into your name.
But it is the responsibility of Trina and the people that come in and sign an application. It is on the application. It is their responsibility to come in and close that account out. There should not be a new account set up until that previous bill is paid.
But we don't have it happening. We need a massive reset. In order to reset everything, we have to do something immediate and drastic, or it's going to take forever on top of the other 100 things we've got going on that we're trying to organize, fix, deal with. And more stuff floats in every month. This is the quickest, most efficient way to do it. And we can advertise it on the website, the Facebook page. We can put it on the next bill for billing cycle. We can hang flyers around town. And I'm fully willing to help Trina do anything she needs to make sure every person in this village knows that they have till the deadline to update their account, so that whatever one is not done, come April, we can clear it out and we can just cut the fat.
Are you talking about just the delinquent accounts?
Every single account in this village needs to be updated. We all need to make sure they're accurate. So it wouldn't be hard if
You're not gonna shut somebody off though, that's current on their bill, it just hasn't come in.
then how do I know that the bill's in the right name if they haven't called and notified the village?
I don't think you can penalize.
If you're not
If the
built,
bill's paid in full, you can't
you
shut
shut the
it off.
door open, turn it right back on.
Yeah.
You're not, but if you don't get to the deadline, and it's April 1st, and you contact us and you say, hey, our stuff got shut off. Okay, well, did you update your account to make sure that it was a valid user of that
And
account?
all they have to do is say, I didn't get the notice, or I've been out of
Okay,
town, or.
then now you update it and you won't get charged you will not get charged a penalty for it.
The only way I believe I would feel comfortable with any of that would be if, instead of cutting the water off, put a notice on the door, like you do for shut-offs, and let them know that if they don't,
We only put shut-offs on the door when they're actually shut off. They don't get,
I'm talking about putting a shut-off on there, just putting a note on there saying it will be if they don't update.
Like, I don't know, like our owner, I don't know if he's put the water bill in his name.
I know.
Because I don't pay the water bill, that's up to the owner. I tell, when someone moves in, we just say, you need to go down and set up your account. It could be an account from 2 or 3 people there, as long as he's paying the bill.
But what happens if he doesn't?
Then it goes back to the landowner.
It goes back to the
property
homeowner.
owner.
Then it's up to the owner to get the money back from them.
But I'm just saying,
That's what we figure out.
I mean, I agree they need to be updated, but it doesn't necessarily mean, because there's a lot of landlords in town that won't tell their tenants, you need to go down to the village and set your water account up.
Well, then we can't complain with the wrong person when we've got the accounts and the mess we're in and we're paying for, the Camden Council is paying for, the Village of Camden is paying for places that have water accounts that nobody's paying the bill to. We've got trash cans all over the village and we have no idea who owns what, who's responsible for what.
can
we have a mess on our hands and there's no way to clean it up because you can't make anybody do anything.
Well, we need to start doing shut-offs again.
Yes, we do.
So
Absolutely.
you got 30 days. If you don't pay in 30 days, you're shut off.
Absolutely.
That will solve a lot of these problems
That is
But
what
that's what
we're
we're
going
finding
down.
out.
Who's living
all
there?
by
Yeah,
themselves.
the one person's.
Because we've done shut-offs 3 times in 2.5 years. So shut-offs need to come back, and that'll alleviate a lot of these
It's
issues.
not coming back, it's a policy. It should have been in place
Yes.
this whole time.
Yes.
So that's just something that needs to be,
And as far as the trash cans,
that's getting ready to get,
because you can't count them.
That's what my
Because
comment to that was Greg with the archives. He has the old building there on Main. So he's cut everything off there, trash and all. And he's called them and he said, when are you gonna come pick up my trash can? She said, we don't do that.
You do that. They come all the time, all you do is make a call to them.
I know, and I
He'll be
emailed.
there, because sometimes I meet them there. They do that all the time.
because there's
Somebody
multiple
told him
people
they
that,
did it. Yes,
like,
we're gonna do
we've
this
got
trash
all.
can.
They do that. They got that locksmith.
I'm getting ready to,
It's not so much
I am working with
you don't have
Rumpke.
2 or 3.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm working with Rumpke. I'm gonna, we're gonna get it straightened out.
I mean, I was gonna suggest take all of them away for a couple months, then start all over.
Can I say something? Rumpke has, there's a number on, Rumpke knows what trash can belongs to
Sure.
what property.
Yeah,
We got
they got
a
a list.
report.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah,
sent
because
out-
I think my mother-in-law's trash can ended up.
Occasionally that's happened.
I can tell
Or
you.
sometimes someone will borrow it and not bring it back. So,
No, I mean, it
Yeah.
just, she always had a trash can,
yeah,
but something happened, and I think you guys called her. Somehow, you found out it was her can, and you
Yeah.
guys swapped cans out.
yeah.
Trina, can you run me a report that has name and address for every account, vacant and active accounts? I want the entire
We're not
list.
talking about Rocky.
No, I'm talking about, not dollar figures, just account number,
Name and.
name and address. Yes. Thank you. That'll give us how many actual meters we have.
So say I have a garbage can that's mine, I have a garbage can that belongs to my daughter. Because she bought it to us when we were cleaning that, before we moved in, and she just never took it back home. So I have 2, I have a large one and a smaller one. I'll just take hers back to her. Sorry, we get it. I don't want Ruffy to come and get it because she's paying for it. Even though it's not on her property, she's still paying for it.
I got one last thing. One last thing, and then I'm done. Back in July last year, we had a conversation about our services, and in that conversation, there was a motion made to have a ready to serve order. And the motion passed. It was not put in the minutes because it was not caught in the recording. And so it was never archived in the minutes. So I found it in the videos that I record, and I had it sent to everyone in council. Through further looking into this, although that motion did pass, we need an ordinance to do that. So I have with me a proposal for an ordinance that I would like us to look into and decide what we're gonna do so that we can get that finalized and get it looked at by our attorney and make sure the ordinance is correct so we can get that process started, since it has to be more than a motion. So,
I don't have one,
I can get you copies.
I don't think the attorney for an ordinance on
Just
it,
an ordinance because ordinances.
we wouldn't need to involve the attorney for that.
She just puts a number on it, on what it was written on there.
The attorney should look it over.
Because it
Because
contains
it's gonna
a
be a ready to serve. You want to have the attorney do it.
But it's actually the person saving money versus paying,
Yeah, because if if you're not gonna do anything with that house and you shut it off instead of paying the $98.05, you just paying $20.
Saying, yeah, they're gonna save money, it's not like it's gonna cost them money. Because that's similar to the meter at the railroad.
Legal wording, you wanna make sure that the legal wording.
It's just that the people that go away 6 months, this is who this is gonna affect.
If you can afford to go away for 6 months, you can afford a rate of service. It's just a fact. Like,
Well, they're gonna be charged the minimum even if they're not there. They're
if,
being charged the minimum.
we have, we have expenses
If
with
they're,
those
if they're
meters.
turned off, that's a ready, because we had to pay for these meter heads, that's how we were justifying it, was we've got $300,000 in meter heads. And we've got one customer in town that the water only gets turned on maybe 2 weeks out of the year.
I mean, unfortunately, these things are not cheap. Even just sitting there, they cost money and they deteriorate every day.
Oh, Josh,
Crewmaker.
Because he's in the military.
Well, Tom pays the bill.
Right, but I'm just saying that he always has the meter shut off.
Tom pays his bill every month.
Okay.
Dad,
I would still like us to go through the attorney because of what it is and make sure that it's worded correctly and we are on point with it to go along with the motion so that we can get the process started.
okay. Give me a copy of it now.
Yeah. That's all I have. Somebody else has next.
Okay, just gonna move right down.
Mine will go really quick. I handed it out to everybody. I made a list, and Trina, I'll get you a copy of this. All of the council members, our addresses, contact phone numbers, and emails. So if anybody wants that. I also did, I do not have a calendar hanging in my house, so I did a list for my refrigerator of the meeting dates. I also updated the holiday calendar because it was incorrect.
didn't I send all that and I sent an
Can you
update?
send an update?
Yeah, mine's cut off in my email, so it was not legible. But anyway, Columbus Day is not a paid holiday, unfortunately, for the employees, so that was removed.
I haven't paid it off already.
Yeah. I sent that
I'll say that.
Yeah. I also passed out, I talked to Trina earlier, I passed out copies of several municipalities' minutes and also showed her, she never knew that the village had journal books for forever minutes. I would like to see us go back to using those journal books. Those are binders, those are uniform, and they are better than just plain paper, 8.5 by 11. They are numbered pages. We've had them since Camden was instituted. So I'd like to see us going back to doing that.
She didn't tell you that.
And Trina said, actually, you said you had actually looked at some minutes from other people, correct? You know what you
Yes.
said?
I researched it a
Okay.
couple months ago.
And then I would also, I told Trina I would like to get a copy of the previous minutes where council voted to join Star Ohio and cancel the 4 CDs that were at Somerville Bank before their maturity date. We lost almost $5,000 when they did that. And I know that Star Ohio, we're earning a lot more. Star Ohio is a great bank. A lot of municipalities are going to that now. But for this village to throw away $5,000 on top of the $12,000 that Dan was talking about earlier, we have wasted a lot of money over the last few years. And I want to see where that was voted on. So
I actually think the CDs were,
I have copies from the bank, all the CDs. I have the losses that the village took. I have what we currently have now, which also brings me up to, why do we still have a Camden Mayor's Court checking account when we no longer have a Mayor's Court?
So I'm having to take license blocks off, and they're having to pay me, so that's the only thing I need to
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I'm having to take license blocks off when they want to get their license. I have to release that, so they have to pay, so I have to put it somewhere. So,
And it came from the mayor's court.
Okay, but we don't have a Mayor's Court anymore, so why can't it go into,
Well, because the municipal court won't release it until we get paid the fine.
and then I have to
They
send an
pay us
instruction
the
to
fine,
them.
we send the paperwork to the municipal court, then they release their license.
okay, so did someone say that we had to keep that account? We can't be doing that through the general fund? The village account?
I thought, I read somewhere where it said that anything to do with the mayor's
Dan, you
court.
pulled records from
Yeah,
the municipal court?
Yeah. The question I have about that is, you know, when you stopped Mayor's Court, Dan, there was like $50,000 to $70,000 worth of past due citations in there. And under Ohio Supreme Court, they told me that we cannot accept any fines now after that, after you closed it. You can't take any citations.
You're not taking
You
citations?
have to, now wait a minute, let me finish. You have to notify every person that's on that list, and you can give them their license back, because you shouldn't be going through municipal court. Because they're getting all that, if that's 70 grand right there, and you're giving all that money to them, when we should have got it,
Wasn't
The
that?
only money they get is for the court costs. We still get the fines.
the court you know what the fine is? About $15 to $28.
Okay.
They're getting about $200 off each one of those.
Okay, and we was paying almost $1,000 a month for a magistrate and $16 an hour for a clerk.
I understand that.
We was losing less money that year than we paid out for a court.
And the magistrate was actually asking for
An increase.
12,
You gave it to them.
for a $1,200 raise.
Yeah, you gave it to them.
And then it got to,
Yeah.
when you run the numbers, it didn't make sense. Now, as long as we use our ordinance codes and not the Ohio revised codes, the money comes back here.
That's not true.
Matt said
I checked, I went through Eaton Municipal Court. They get everything except the little bitty fine that they give through Matt. It was $8,800. Now, let me go back. I did a public records request for every ticket that was wrote in 2024. Okay, up until now. So they said that Matt wrote 65 tickets in that time, 1 year time slot. 10 of those tickets were not counted because they hadn't been processed yet. That leaves 55 tickets. The 55 tickets were $8,000 or $8,800, I believe, and $4. Out of that $8,804, we got $1,600. That's all we got.
And that was 2024.
The whole, from January of, let's see. Yeah, January of 2024 till now.
In January 2024, we still had the mayor's court.
I'm sorry.
2025?
Yeah, 2025. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. But
Yeah.
didn't Nancy turn over a lot of that old stuff to the Attorney General? So,
So Mayor's Court should have been completely shut down. We are by law not to take any tickets, nothing. And I know we took tickets. We took ticket money.
Yeah, we took whatever was on our backlog.
all I'm doing.
You shouldn't do that.
Releasing
Every
my
person that's on
spots.
that law that's had a ticket written by the city of Camden has to be notified that it is null and void.
Is that using the Ohio revised code?
Absolutely.
Or is that using our ordinance number?
No, that's not our ordinance. That's a Ohio revised
I'm
code.
just saying that the money that, if the police officers write a ticket and they use the Ohio revised code number, the money stays in Eaton. This came from the courthouse.
That's current stuff, yeah.
So anything that tickets they write currently right now, if they use our ordinance numbers.
It goes to Eaton.
When it goes to Eaton, that, our ordinance money comes here.
Yeah, which is $1,800 and some dollars, and that's it.
They get everything but the.
Yeah, they get the largest chunk of it.
They get the largest chunk, but then we're not paying the largest chunk.
No, I
That's
understand that, yeah.
For staffing.
Are you done, so I can go on? Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. So that answers my question about mayor's court. The second thing I have is, we have a checking or savings over there for the water bills.
Yes, just for checks that won't scan through the scanner,
Okay, so they take water payments over there now.
and they're running those through there.
Okay, but then you're going over and getting money orders to put into our account. I would like to see you going over, not every 30 days to pick those up, because that's money that we could be getting interest on with it being in our account, in the bigger account, not sitting over there. And besides, if they're sitting over there, you're not posting them to the water, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I don't know that it's.
So we need to
Yeah.
be picking those up.
How often?
Not
It's hard for me to get out of here is the problem.
Trina.
What?
Becky, yes, it is. I have to close.
All you have to do is walk over to the bank.
Okay, so I'm gone 20 minutes and
Why would you be gone 20 minutes? They've got them ready. They're in an envelope waiting for you. So you would just simply have to
they
go
don't have
over.
the money order ready. No. And then
Well,
they
if
have
you call
to
them
do.
ahead of time and say, I'm getting ready to come over and pick them up, they can get it ready. I don't want to see all that sitting over there for 30 days.
Well, it's been like 5 people, but okay.
Can we transfer that money electronically from one bank to another?
I need the slip, who paid and their address and
Right.
the
Well,
amount.
I was just saying,
Yeah.
you know, since it automatically goes into our account,
Yeah, it's in our savings account.
can we just electronically transfer that money from that account to the
There
other
would be
account?
wire transfer fees and everything if they did that.
Plus, you need to know
Because it's
who's,
two different banks.
who's the resident.
You don't need to, because it's coming out of your checking account.
They
You're
can
just
do
grabbing
a report.
She has to go over and pick up the receipt so she can balance over here. But if you want to transfer the money, that has nothing to do with my water bill. We're just she's talking about, because if she's getting a money order to transfer it, instead of getting the money order, just transfer the money electronically.
Yeah,
You
but
still-
there would probably
you
be
still
wire
have-
fees and
What
everything.
does a money order cost us?
It's not. I mean, we transfer money between banks, and there's no fees.
I mean, it's something we could look into. I just
They
don't,
do it, I mean,
Could you look
everybody
into that
transfers
and
from
see
one
if
bank
it's
to
just a
another.
wire transfer and how much it would cost
I'm
us
just- I
versus
mean,
that?
I agree, we still need to go over and pick up the receipts,
yeah.
but the money itself is in the account, it can be transferred electronically. And, you know, whether she made it over today to get it, but she was able to just,
Yeah, I just
Pull
don't
the
want it
money out of
sitting
this
over there
account.
for 30 days and, you know, these people are wondering why did my payment, I paid at the bank. Why doesn't it show on my bill that I paid? Well, because it's still sitting over the bank. And it's
Well,
not
I
my
would
bank.
definitely post them prior to sending the bills out.
If you could though.
Yeah, I can, but I don't think that's an issue unless somebody's.
Well, I'm looking at the report and that's where I got my information from the bank. So I've got when it was deposited and when you actually picked it up.
Yeah, I've probably only been over twice in the last couple weeks to do that.
if the money's deposited, transfer it to the bank, not an issue.
No, it's getting the people's account up to date and their payments.
Right, if you were saying we could get the interest, but we could do
Right,
that
we
electronically.
could, yeah.
She's
If
gonna
we
look
can,
at,
yeah.
look into that to see if it costs anything, if it doesn't,
Yeah.
then we can decide.
One other thing that I'd like to do, is I would like to look at getting a new solicitor for the village. I talked to Trina and she said she believes that Prosper Todd is no longer interested in being our solicitor, so I think it's time we move on.
I agree.
We can look into it.
I have.
We're having a conversation with the firm and see if that's their intentions.
I would prefer not keeping them anymore. I'd like
You
to
wanna
see,
make a motion?
I'd like to see the village get a new solicitor.
Do you wanna make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion that whoever wants to, I've already reached out to a couple, I haven't got quotes yet, but if you know somebody that would like to give us a quote to be the village solicitor, I make a motion that you bring those quotes in.
I second that.
That's the list to me.
Discussion.
We talked to Steve Corey about a lot of stuff.
I'll second.
Is there a reason
I already seconded.
we want to get rid of
We
it?
got a second, just for discussion. I don't know.
Is there a problem with them?
Well, I don't think that they want to continue. I think that Steve
you hear?
Boyd, Trina told me that.
Well, Steve's retiring. but
Steve's
Jack-
retiring, and right now, we don't have a municipal attorney. We have
No,
an environmental attorney doing municipal work.
That was Jack Hemingway. Jack does municipal work. That's who we deal with now, him and Samantha
Vaguely.
Baker, yeah.
Because
Steve was the,
he was the environmental,
right, and he's retiring.
and Jack, his background is municipality.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd still like to get quotes.
Because Steve brought him up here to introduce him to us, and he told us he was transferring everything over to Jack.
What do they charge us?
What was it, $3.50 an hour, $3.75 an hour?
Yeah.
Something like that.
This as they're used, is what he charges. Well, I don't think you need a motion for that, just get hold of them. Who do you got?
You can get prices. Get prices.
I don't
Your
know.
prices and look?
Yeah. If you can price
So
it.
now we've just put out in the public what
Yeah.
our attorney charges, so.
What's public record anyway?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
talked
it
to
is,
Jack
it
and
is.
Sam quite a bit this week, though, so they seem to be more rewarding.
Okay. Anything else?
So we're just leaving, who's getting prices?
Everybody, whoever.
Whoever.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anybody else?
yeah, that's all I have for, right now.
All right. Executive session. Need a
Can we
motion?
go ahead and finish the business? That way, if these people want to leave, they can leave.
Okay. Do approval of the minutes.
I would like to make a motion to table the minutes until they can be reviewed and changed or corrected until the next meeting.
Do you have changes on the minutes?
I haven't had time to look at them. I had asked that they be sent to us with the business
On Monday.
On Monday,
They're very long. I do like how detailed they are.
yeah,
They look very detailed.
my motion is to table them until I can review them.
I sent them to you, but it was probably at 5.
Yeah.
Well, I'll second that motion. That way everybody has time to go over and read it.
Okay, discussion? Roll call.
Lizzie,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jeff,
Saying,
Ann.
Yay.
Okay, payroll for 1/30/2026.
I would like to make a motion to table the payroll until they can be corrected. And everybody has a copy of the 3 that I have that were incorrect.
No, Rusty only knows
I'll
you two.
s-
Who's the third?
I've got Courtney, Rusty, and Dave.
I'll second that. 'Cause
Oh, I didn't know that name.
And I can go over it with you after the meeting if you prefer.
Name theirs, but not yours.
I'll second
Discussion. Roll call.
Lizzie,
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Jeff?
Abstain.
Dan?
Yay.
Okay, let's table. How about purchase orders?
I'll make a motion to approve the 4 purchase orders that we have.
I'll second that.
Discussion. Roll call.
Lizzie,
Yay.
Becky?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Our invoices.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills except for the one that Trina and I talked about that needs to be corrected.
Divide it out.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that too.
Discussion. Roll call.
Lizzie,
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Jeff?
Abstain.
Dan?
Yay.
Okay. Now can I get a motion to go into executive session?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel per Ohio Revised Code 12122, Section G1, discussion of possible disciplinary actions of an employee.
I'll second that one too.
Roll call.
Lizzie,
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Jeff? Dan?
Yes.
Maybe now.
Hi, your husband's right on the bed. Sucks. Stay up, get up. For me, I got
I thought it was funny.
so when I'm waiting in line down the road,
I do have it.
I sleep.
It's not for him.
My buddies are calling me. Man, what do you want?
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll second it.
I sleep at working back.
Discussion. Roll call.
Lizzie,
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
That is everything that was on the agenda. Dan, you got something?
I got 2 motions here. I'd like to make a motion that the village office hours be set back to 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that the water bill office hours be returned to those regular hours. All employees shall clock in and out. If any employee needs to leave during work hours, they must email the mayor or the village administrator to request leave. In the event of an emergency, the employee shall contact the village administrator or the mayor, and as soon as possible, no overtime shall be worked or paid unless it's approved in advance by village council, except in the utilities department where overtime may be permitted for emergencies only.
I second that.
Discussion.
Is that for all employees?
Yeah. Well, it won't be for the police department, and,
Exempting the police department.
yeah,
But the street department, they'll go out not only on water. but-
there's an exception there.
Okay, but it didn't say that, it just
Okay.
said, that's what I was saying.
We should have an exception there then.
With, snow removal, sewer backups, I mean, tree removals.
They're out in the public, they can be seen when they're at lunch.
No, I'm talking about the overtime,
Oh, gotcha.
the overtime, because they get,
And here's what I wrote.
they get called in for a lot of goofy things and
Yeah.
I mean,
It says no overtime shall be worked or paid unless it's approved in advance by village council, except in the utilities department, where overtime may be permitted for emergencies only. Snow is an emergency, everything else is an emergency, so it should be covered.
okay.
How's that?
I seconded it.
Roll call.
Well, what about these meetings? Am I doing these for free?
No, you get paid.
That's overtime.
Yeah, but we know you're here. We can see you.
I'm 63 years old. I can't, whatever. Go ahead. Lizzie? Yes. Becky?
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the other one is, I make a motion to terminate the current monthly time clock subscription used in the village office and reinstate the previously unused cost-effective time clock. The village fiscal officer will be required to clock in and out using the system, and any unauthorized leave will be subject to disciplinary action consistent with village policies.
Any what leave?
Can you read that again? I'm sorry.
Yes. I make a motion to terminate the current monthly time clock subscription used by the village office and reinstate the previously unused cost-efficient time clock. The village fiscal officer will be required to clock in and out using the system, and any unauthorized leave will be subject to disciplinary action consistent with village policies.
I'll second.
Good.
Is that for everybody
I
or just for the
That's for
office?
everybody.
prefer the fingerprint system.
I think if we had more office employees, it would make more sense. You know, like the firehouse has 15, 20 people. We have one person.
Well,
It's
but-
$30 a month. We have to make cutbacks.
Well, we bought the same clock for the barn, so that would put all of our employees under the same,
Yeah, but we're paying $28 a month for that.
yeah.
For four people?
What's wrong with the other time clock that I put in? What happened to it, by the way? Do you mind know?
It's in the manager's office.
Because that one got ordered after, that one that got put in, that was just halfway hung on the wall, showed up after the other one. That one came in, the other one had already been ordered. Because that was the discussion at council, was we wanted one where it identifies the person that clocks in and clocks out.
We use the other ones everywhere else.
Well, but that's why they purchased the fingerprint one for the barn also.
We ain't got that.
There's supposed to have been one purchased for that, so everybody.
We don't have a fingerprint system
Still
nowhere.
give it to me.
So everybody was, so all the clocks
It was
were
bought.
changed. It's purchased.
Stem had it. I can find out where it's at.
I got it.
We didn't know anything about it. We just use the same one Nelson does.
Yeah, it's in Trina's office. That's what she just said.
In
It's
the
in her
office?
office.
Okay.
Because we made a decision, we were going across the board with the same time clocks. All employees were going to get treated the same with the same time clock. And then that subscription would cover all, because that subscription is good for up to 15 employees, I think.
Well, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jeff,
No.
Dan.
Yay.
Okay. I got a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
You ain't got one more thing?
Roll call.
Oh, hold on, I got one more
Oh.
thing. Just kidding.
Well, then they.
Okay.
Roll call.
Lizzie,
Yes.
Becky.
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Dan. Not you.
Dan, you gotta vote.
Yay.
Meeting's adjourned.